If you're bad with money, making more won't fix you.
Welcome. This is Therapeutic Finance. We're back rehabbing our finances. Hopefully we can inspire you to do the same with yours.
Yes.
Today, we're talking about
The B word. Budgeting.
So the first thing we need to do is kind of break the myth about budgeting. A lot of people hear budget and they get scared. They think restriction. I don't want to be restricted. I want to spend my money how I want to spend my money. That's fine. It's not about restricting the way that you spend your money. It's about allocating your money into places that you want to spend it. If you want to spend 90% of your income on travel, spend it. But as long as you know where it's going, budgeting is about keeping track of where your money is going. Because when you're not keeping track of where it's going, it runs away from you. It sneaks off in the middle of the night and you never hear from it again because it's gone.
Oh, for real. For real. So grad school was the first time that I actually had to borrow money for school. And I was just accepting like the loans. And when it hit my account, I was just like, what? I got all this money? And it was just like, wow, okay. I never consciously decided to just go willy-nilly with the money, but I did have a plan for the money. And so basically somebody would be like, you want to go out to eat? Yeah, sure. So I'm eating out every night of the week. Going shopping with the loan money. Yeah, I was living my best life. You want to get your nails done? Yeah, I'll get my nails done. Actually, that's not even me. I don't even get my nails done now. But, it was just something to do. It was just kind of like, it felt free.
It ain't tricking if you got it.
Right, exactly. And that was new money, baby. I ain't never seen that money before, but,
So I went from this.
Roderick, how you gonna pay for something?
Hopes and dreams.
To a little over $50,000 a year. So somewhere along the lines there, I decided that I need to find a way to make this money stretch. So I decided, let's do a $1,500 budget just for me by myself. That's probably plenty enough. So I felt like $1,500 a month, I'm living my best life, which is pretty simple anyways. And I still know that the money's gonna last. What I would do was I would write on my calendar, okay, this is how much money I have in my checking account. Okay, I got $10,000 in my checking account in January. All right, when February comes, I should have 10,000 minus 1,500. What's that? 7,500 minus 1,500 for March. I would just go like that, and I would keep track of what my checking account would look like. I didn't keep much cash on me. I used my debit card for all of my purchases. Then would just look at my account to see, okay, it's February 1st. Do I have 7,500 or do I have 6,000? So I was just keeping track of it that way.
Seeing Broderick budget kind of was inspiring. Like, oh, this fiscally responsible man is just like, okay, that's kind of cute. So anyways, when he told me that his budget was $1,500 a month, I'm like, okay, maybe I can set mine at $1,500 a month. And so how I would do my budget, that works for him. I'm not, for me, I had to kind of do it very differently. I'm not very good. I'm not a numbers person. So I just needed to cut straight to the chase. I didn't want to have to keep wondering, keeping track of, okay, it should look like this in my account. So each month I would just transfer $1,500 to my checking account, and then all the rest would be in my savings. So, and then at the beginning of the month, I would do another $1,500, or, really subtract, like if I was under that month, then I would take out less than $1,500, but it would add up to $1,500 in the checking account. So that's how I would do it. It just kind of made life easier. And I would also use my debit card for all my purchases.
We look back at what we looked like before we started budgeting. And like she said, with all of those extra expenses, mind you, we lived very comfortably on $1,500. And I look back at my statements before I started budgeting, I'm at $2,000 and $3,000 per month. And
oh yeah, same. I was at $3,000 a month.
So those were our grad school days. what does budgeting look like for us now that we're married? So things, it's a little different when you put your money together. How we do it now, and yours may be different, you and your wife, you and your husband, but the way we do ours is 90% of our income goes to us. It's a joint. If I bring in $1,000, 900 is going to go to us. That goes to our joint checking, savings, whatever. And the 10% that's left over goes to me. It's my personal funds, and vice versa for her as well. The purpose of this is we budget together. We set a number, and we have categories that, this is what we're going to spend. But we know that we are two different people that like spending our money in two separate places. And you have to have a sense of just self. So I have my 10% of what I earn that I get to do whatever it is I want to do with it. She has her 10% of what she earns, and she gets to do whatever it is she wants to do with it. And we've already agreed that you don't say nothing about my 10%. I won't say nothing about yours.
Mind your business.
If you go down the street tossing it out the window, I might look at you crazy. But I can't say anything about her 10%. She can do what she wants with it.
Exactly.
And vice versa.
Yeah. If Broderick wants to go, I don't know, maybe to the casino, that's coming out of his 10%. My baby like to have his fun. Okay, that's fine. You can do that. But, and for me, if I want, I don't know, a Louis bag for whatever reason, I can get that with my 10%.
But mind you though, so our goal is to never have to actually touch our own 10%. So in actuality, she can't go get a Louis bag with her 10%. But in actuality,
because I know it ain't gonna come out the budget.
In actuality, what we would do is discuss like, hey, you want to get this Louis bag? Okay, at the beginning of the month, we're gonna put in our budget somewhere to get this Louis bag to fit. If it can fit. Depending on the price of a Louis bag, it might not fit.
He obviously don't know how much a Louis bag costs, y'all, because this man, he is. You can't get it from Walmart. You know
we can
that,
spend
right?
$200 on you a bag.
Brandon, it's cost at least $1,000. Okay, you know what?
All right, $1,000.
Let's just like I said, that's why I said it's coming out to 10%. But anyways, now some things that are my expense do come out the budget. Like this month, I had to get my hair done. That costs, braids cost about $200. So that comes out the budget. Broderick needed some scrubs for a new job. That came out the budget. So like he said, preferably we don't touch our 10%. And so in those instances, it does come out the budget. But Louis bag, whether Broderick knows it or not, it can't come out the budget because we can't afford it in the budget. So budgeting has really allowed us to do a lot of different things. It's pretty much our foundation. It's allowed us to build our emergency fund. It's allowed us to invest and save. We're able to, track our savings rate. We've gotten a lot of questions about like how we budget, investing and that sort of thing. Well, we really wanted to put this video out there because, it's truly the foundation. Like, we wouldn't be able to do anything if we weren't keeping track of our expenses.
And I want to let you in on a secret. We've been budgeting for 5-6 months together now.
Yeah, as long as we've been married, so yeah.
We have met our budget, our monthly budget, a total of 0 times. 0 times. And look, this is the thing that I'm trying to point out. Although we have not met the budget that we've set for the month, we still come out excellent when it comes to savings rate and what we're going to do with the extra money, because we know and we're keeping track of where everything is going. So what that we're $100 over the budget? I don't care. But if we weren't keeping track of it, we'd be $1,000 over the budget, $2,000 over the budget. Who knows? But we're keeping track of it and we know where everything is going. So putting that out there, let me kind of explain how, although we're over the budget, we're still on track. So the way we do our budgeting, it's the next month's budget is dependent on how we did the previous month. So if our budget for January is $1,000 and we spent $1,200, then we know our budget for February is only $800. February comes and we spend $700. That's $100 lower than the budget. Then we know that when March comes, we have $1,100 to spend. Like it goes up and down because you're taking the previous month into account.
Which I think actually, so this month, I think we're on, well, nope, not even this month.
We're gonna go over again.
Yeah, because but by very little. So next month we'll have to cut down, but it won't be by much. So
Very small.
So at the end of the year, we'll still essentially spend the same.
So one question I know we've gotten is, how do you keep track of your budget? Well, how we keep track of our budget is, first of all, we're all digital. We use cards. We use cards for every single expense. I don't care if you're going in the store buying a piece of gum. We're going to use a card to do it. One thing that does is it digitizes. So we have, online apps that keep track of everything that we've spent, as well as Mint. It's an app that keeps track of all the expenses that we have. So what we do is we set our budget on Mint. We buy things, it goes into Mint in its categories, and that's how we keep track of it.
What I really liked about Mint is the fact that you can change the different categories, like set them to different amounts. The way Mint works, you're connecting your card, so like your debit card or your credit cards to Mint, and then so every time you're making a purchase, it reads it and it categorizes it for you, and so we always know where our money's going.
There are other things like the Every Dollar app and Truebill. Those are two other ones that I know about. I've never used them, but we know that Mint is what we like and it works well for us.
Yeah. So also what really helps us is having a meeting every 2 weeks.
1st and 15th.
Yeah. He calls the meeting, I just show up. So that way we kind of know we're on the same page, and we kind of take a look at like, okay, there's 2 weeks left in the month. This is how much money we have left for the month.
The best thing to do is kind of keep track of what you've done the previous month. Sometimes I ask somebody, okay, what do you normally spend? They don't have a clue. So one of the things you might want to do is kind of see what's normal for you in a month, and then kind of go from there with the next month.
So tip number 2, you want to plan before the month begins. So developing a plan can make all the difference. So knowing what your goals are for the month and just prioritizing your expenses. You know that you're going to pay for utilities and rent or a mortgage or whatever. So that's going to be priority. You have to make your car payment or they're going to come get it sooner or later. Prioritizing that, and then also kind of thinking about your goals. So your goals can be, I want to put some money towards my emergency fund this month. That can be $10, that can be $500. Just having a plan and knowing what you want to accomplish.
The last thing that we want to do is budget to zero. And when I say budget to zero, that doesn't mean spend every dime that you have coming in. That means that everything that you bring in should have a place, whether it's being spent on rent, being saved in a savings account, being invested into a brokerage account, or going as a gift somewhere else. There has to be a plan for everything, because if we don't plan for it, that money will go somewhere that we didn't intend for it to go.
Yeah. We're really learning to be good stewards over our money. We're understanding that if you're bad with money, making more won't fix you. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, watching us as we present another video. If you like what you see, make sure you're liking and subscribing, you're sharing with your family and friends, and we appreciate all the feedback, and we'll see you here next Friday.